I'm Alfonso Mendoza, host of the My Ed Tech Life podcast, a part of the Education Podcast Network. Shows on the network are individually owned and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other interesting education podcasts at edupodcastnetwork.com.
Welcome to Fresh Air at 5, the podcast. I'm your host, Bryon Carpenter. Fresh Air at 5 is my regular attempt to exercise by walking about my neighborhood to take in podcast content or an audiobook, then reflect in an unedited video, which I finally post to my Twitter channel. This podcast will be a regular collection of the audio from these selfie videos. You can follow me on Twitter at FreshAirAtFive or check out my website, BryonCarpenter.com, for other content I have created and collected. Hey there, PLN. It's Monday, February 15th, 2021, and it's family day here in British Columbia. Got out with my family. They're way ahead of me right now, but we're out snowshoeing with our crew and enjoying our time together. It's a beautiful day out, and weather coming out of the valley was a little bit on the nasty side, hot traveling-wise, but once we got here, all is calm. Listen to this. Listen. So beautiful. So beautiful. Wherever you are, I hope you're having a great day too. Self-care Monday. Self-care Monday. All right, bye-bye. Morning, PLN. It's Tuesday, February 16, 2021, and well, it's early this morning. I went to bed early last night because I was tired, and then I woke up early, and then, well, let's get out the door. I hit the street this morning at 4:10 a.m. I'm not going to change this to Fresh Air at 4 because that doesn't sound right. But yeah, I'm out here walking right now and it's foggy. And you know what? It's really peaceful at this time of day. This is a me time and I love this me time. And I'm almost like, whoa, this me time earlier is even almost better. So this morning as I'm out walking, I listened to episode number 9 of Reflect Ed with AJ Bianco. As AJ, you dig into the hardness that's going on right now in our buildings and in teaching. And you know what? It is hard. This is the weirdest and hardest thing that's ever happened to the education system in a very, very long time, with the pandemic and the expectations and the changing goal posts all the time, and how we've got people that are making decisions that are changing their minds because of the information and data they get from their public health office, etc., etc., etc. And you know what? It's hard. I appreciate you saying that and acknowledging that as a school leader in your building, as an administrator, and sharing your thoughts and your message with us out here. So those of us that listen are quite likely school leaders and probably, administrators that are listening to you. And I say thank you, JJ, for your honesty and your candidness. And I'm not going to say that, my school leaders need to listen to this, but I need to model in my space the things that you're talking about as a department head and with the expectations for my teachers. So yes, take a listen to AJ's podcast this morning. If you haven't, it'll challenge you. And AJ, thanks so much. I appreciate connecting with you and seeing you in Clubhouse on Saturday with Tim and crew. All right, happy day. Okay, bye-bye. One more thing for February 16th, 2021. As I'm coming here to the end of Fresh Air at 5 for this morning, I picked up and listened to episode, I can't even remember, gentlemen, what it is, episode 78 or something of Got Tech, the podcast with Eric and Nick, as they talk about technology. And if you haven't listened to their podcast, I would really encourage you to do so. I've been listening and I've been learning a lot of things. And Jen Giffen, through listening to me talk here on Fresh Air at 5 about my reviews, has started listening to got teched. So thanks, Jen, for listening to me talk about them and making connections. Fantastic. And thank you, Eric, for the shout out on the show this morning as you picked up stickers in your mailbox from me for Fresh Air at 5. Pleasure to make those with Adobe Spark, so we'll chat about that in the future. I understand. And Nick, I thought, I'm not sure if I sent you stickers, so DM me your address if you haven't, and I will get you stickers in the mail. You guys talked about where did the time go from the beginning of the school year, the beginning of the year here, till now mid-February. And well, for us in my home, we have been out quite a bit on the weekends, my wife and I and some friends, out in the winter here in British Columbia, chasing some snow, getting some snowshoeing in. So it's quite fantastic to get outside and do that. So yes, all right, on to the podcast. Dudes, it's like you open the fridge and it's a potluck. Forget the smorgasbord. It's a potluck. You brought all the stuff that was in the back of the fridge out to the front, like table of contents creator. Great little tool. It's built right in there. And Nick, I like your idea about having a shortcut to make Google Docs and Google Slides. When I'm in class and I need a quick document that I can share with my students, boom, I can do it. Doc.new. Fantastic. And about the QR code thing, thanks, Eric, for listening to Jen Giffen. And about the QR code, I mentioned it last week on Twitter. So have a great day, guys. Bye-bye. Hey PLN, it's Wednesday, February 17th, 2021, and I'm out here for Fresh Air at 5 this morning and enjoying under clear skies. The stars are shining through, and there's a skiff of ice on the ground here, which makes it more exciting to walk. I'll have to be careful. So, this morning as I'm out walking, I've already listened to the Good News, Brad News show, episode number 7. So congratulations, Brad, on lucky number 7. Not lucky, you made it. You're doing great. I just dropped episode number 7 myself, actually this coming Friday night of Fresh Air at 5. All right, on episode 7 of the Good News, Brad News show, Brad talks with Chloe Kerr, who's an educator and a mom and a passionate learner in Scotland, north of Scotland in the Shetland Islands. And so Chloe talks about her passion for learning and working with children. And she had a fantastic tweet that she tweeted back last May that Brad mentioned that got him started connecting with her, that said, start with where I am, not with where you think I should be, as students were coming back into the buildings and back to learning during the pandemic last year. Important to remember. Thank you, Chloe, for that quote. Fantastic. You want to hear some encouragement? Take a listen to Chloe and Brad chat. Have a good day. Talk to you soon. One more thing for February 17th, 2021, as I'm out here wrapping up Fresh Air at 5. I'm just coming around the corner by my place, and I just listened to Overthrowing Education with Bathsheba Frankel on episode 41 as she talks with filmmaker, advocate Don Goebel, as he talks about filmmaking in any subject and how the visual with sound is such a powerful medium for students to create and communicate their learning and understanding, and how it doesn't need to be relegated only to media class. So as I'm a media design teacher, I teach these skills, and I'm learning how to teach these skills. And it's not one of those things that I'm an expert at, but I do try my best to do. And not being a writer or a literature person, I do find it challenging to have ideas and content that I can bring to media design for them to create. One of the films that I have had my students make and projects that I've had them do is do a Mother's Day video card where they have to make a video for their mom. They have to have their own face on the screen talking to their mom for at least 15 seconds. That's one of the constraints of the project. And then I teach them about QR codes and short links and have them make a print media that we print out and they can give to their mom on Mother's Day. So while she's sitting at the table at Mother's Day morning, she can use your phone, scan the QR code, and watch this video and be touched by the words of her child. So that's in grade 9 and 10. I have my students do that. They struggle with that. But you know what? I think it's because I'm not doing the baby steps along the way. I'm jumping in to a big project because I bought a license for WeVideo and I use it only once or twice during the year and not more. So, Don Goebel, thank you for your inspiration and words. I'm going to check out your website, and those of you that need some inspiration in filmmaking, take a look at Don's work. Thanks, Basheva. Have a great day. Bye-bye. One more thing for February 17th, 2021. Just thinking about now, after I just pressed stop, Don Goebel's comments about filmmaking and how that can draw students in, and how, sound is actually quite an important part of filmmaking. I look back at the Star Wars films, and what I learned about sound from the Star Wars films was that, the sound that Skywalker Sound Studio, I think it was, put together for Star Wars makes the story so very convincing. The sound of the Imperial Destroyer and those motors rumbling in space compared to the sound of the speeder, the land speeder that Luke rides on as he's carrying across the desert there in A New Hope. And all the sounds of the lightsaber. You hear a lightsaber today, just even that sound on someone's phone, it brings back memories and visuals that, had not they been there and done so well, would not be there. The crack of Indiana Jones's whip, in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Fantastic. Thanks, Don. Appreciate it. Today with my students, as we are in media design class, I've got a buddy of mine, Todd Dykow, coming in to talk with us about podcasting and how that we can do some audio recording and editing on our Chromebooks and devices. And this is something that I've gotten into with FreshAirAtFive, but I'm not an expert in this area. So I've called in an expert, and I'm excited to talk about sound and music and how we put together an audio story, because our audio is so important in our visuals and in our learning. For me, I've discovered, I believe, that I am an audio learner. I learn things very well by listening. Visual is important too, but the audio I can carry with me. That visual I can't do. It's hard to watch a YouTube video while I'm walking along here as opposed to listening to podcasts. All right, thanks so much. That's my one more thing. Another one more thing. Have a great day. Bye. Hey PLN, it is Thursday, February 18th, 2021, and I'm out here for Fresh Air at 5 this morning, and Shooks and Giff dropped an AHA overflow, and Jen Giffen was super excited about the Google updates that she heard about and learned about yesterday from Learning with Google. I think that's what it was called, as she watched their updates video and meeting, and she was super excited to share what she'd learned. So that, Jen, was a power-packed AHA overflow episode as you dropped all those updates that are coming. So thanks for sharing those. Super great to see that. And there are some Chrome updates coming, Chromebook updates that are coming. And so, yeah, thanks so much, Jen. Appreciate it, and I just want to pass this along to the people. Go listen to Shooks and Giff AHA Overflow that came out on Wednesday, February 17th. Peace out. Bye. All right, so I just finished listening to Educational Duct Tape with Jake Miller, as he had special guest Joe Marquez, who is involved with Q in a high level, and he is a tech coach and director of innovation where he is, and science. He taught science for 8 years, so he gets kids, which is fantastic. Joe, thanks for your words of wisdom and sharing. And I started listening to Sons of Technology podcast. If you haven't heard that, take a listen to Sons of Technology podcast, because Joe and Kyle talk about tech and how to use it well. So Joe, you're inspiring me as you talked about hybrid learning and how hybrid learning is very different than blended learning, and hybrid teaching takes a spin on teaching that's really hard to do. You had the 3 filters for your EdTech tools, which was it should allow teachers to inspect student work. It should allow teachers to make corrections to that student work, and then allows teachers to redirect students to the proper way of accomplishing that. Thanks, gents. Appreciate it. Have a fantastic day, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye. Hey, PLN, it's later on February 18th, 2021, and today was the day that Perseverance touched down on the surface of Mars, which was super cool. I was excited about this, and you know what? I missed a whole bunch of news and paying attention to it until my son, he was watching Mark Rober on YouTube and was like, "Dad, it's happening." And I'm like, "What's happening?" He goes, "They're going to land on Mars again." And I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." So my interest has been heightened and excited in the past couple of days. I saw Tim Stevenson's podcast, Science 360, as he was getting ready to talk about Mars and teaching Mars and the information that we need to know to convey to our students about this red planet. And you know what? I just listened to that episode, and thanks, Tim, for sharing so much information. You know, not being a physics or astronomy guy, I didn't know very much about Mars, and my amount of information I know now has significantly increased since that time. Well, I'm going to say it here, and this might be news for you, but Perseverance has landed. And today at 11:55, the live broadcast from NASA, space or mission control for the Perseverance mission was on YouTube. And my students and I, we sat over our lunch and into the next class and watched the broadcast from NASA, and it was super awesome to see. Saw the first pictures of Mars from Perseverance, and excited tomorrow to see as they attempt to fly a helicopter in the very thin atmosphere that was carried up on the Perseverance, and I think that's called Ingenuity. So yes, looking forward to seeing that and learning more about the red planet in the days to come, and watching Perseverance rove about for the next couple of years and collect samples. All right, have a fantastic day. It's snowing here, and hopefully I'll get these papers, delivering papers with my daughter, done before we get much accumulation. All right, have a great day. Bye. Bye-bye. One more thing as I'm rounding out my afternoon paper delivery walk. I listened to STEM Everyday Podcast, episode 191, as Chris Woods talks with Emily Hunt about her book and her understanding of the importance of STEM in the classroom and in homes and in kids' lives. And her book is called 15-Minute STEM Activities. She has a second book that has just come out in 2021. So thank you, Emily, for your input into helping us understand how we can inject STEM into our classrooms and places like that. Today's on the heels of the Perseverance Mars rover lander and how it had touched down today, and I sat and watched it with my students at school, and we didn't talk a lot about all the different things that were going on, but we're in a technology school, and they see that there's science and math and engineering, and we talk about videography and things like that, and all the different disciplines that are necessary to make something like that happen. Thanks, Chris, for your work. Thank you for the podcast you released, and carry on. It's great stuff. Hoping you can have a great rest of your day. It's precipitating here in the form of solid water, snow, and we are enjoying the hopefully tail end of the cold part of our winter and getting into warm weather here in British Columbia. But unlike Texas right now, we're probably about warmer than Texas is, and we are many, many, many degrees further north than where Texas is. So thinking of all those people, I saw a video about them saving sea turtles and how they had the sea turtles in the convention center rescuing them from being out in the cold and not making it. All right, we'll talk to you. That's another conversation for another day. Okay, bye. Hey PLN, it's Friday, February 19th, 2021, and I'm out here for Fresh Air at 5 on not a rainy or snowy day. High overcast clouds, about 1 degree Celsius, and it's been a very nice morning walk this morning to get some fresh air into my lungs. Also got some fresh thoughts into my head as I listen to House of Ed Tech, episode 173, all about Clubhouse. And Chris Nessie, you brought it. You brought it today. And I'm excited about Clubhouse. I had my very first Clubhouse experience last Saturday morning on the heels of the Teachers on Fire roundtable discussion about teacher wellness and self-care. And Tim Cavey started a clubhouse room just after the roundtable discussion in the morning. I joined. I was invited to come to the stage and share a couple thoughts, and it's been great to connect with Tim Cavey and just see how he is using these tools in his influencer space as Teachers on Fire. And Chris, I really appreciate all the tips and information that you brought, and if anybody out there is listening and has a curiosity about Clubhouse, you need to listen to Chris Nessie's House of EdTech 173 about Clubhouse, because it's really good. You had some great guests. Lisa Dabbs, she had some great thoughts as well. So let's just keep this going, and I'll see you on Clubhouse, because I gotta learn some stuff and be more effective there. My big question, and this is a question, can you record conversations in Clubhouse? I know it's iOS only. Is there a way within Clubhouse to record or not? And Chris, a tech question, can I record a conversation if I had with somebody so that I could put it here on FreshAirAtFive as maybe a recording and connecting platform? That's my big question. All right, it's about the end of this segment, and I just want to say thanks for listening to episode 8 of FreshAirAtFive, and it'll be dropping in on the 26th of February, next Friday. And thanks, keep listening, and connect with me on Twitter. Appreciate you guys. Bye-bye. As my one word for 2020 is appreciate, I appreciate you giving me a listen for the very first time as I've created a podcast experience for you to listen to. Subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming episodes, and please give me a review on Apple Podcasts to get my voice out there further.